The moment you pull out of the dealership lot, the marketing brochures stop mattering. You're immediately hit with the sweaty palm reality of edging a brand new car through a sea of auto rickshaws and erratic city traffic. In those first 6 months, nobody cares about 0 to 100 times, peak horsepower, or ambient lighting. A spec sheet won't help you merge safely onto a crowded flyover. This diagram illustrates what actually keeps a new driver out of trouble. You need an overall length under 3.7 meters to fit into tight basement spots, and a turning radius under 5 meters to make a 3-point turn without scraping a wall. Add an hour of silkboard or Powai Lake gridlock to that equation. A heavily sprung clutch and a stiff steering wheel will quickly lead to severe left knee fatigue and arm strain. The ideal beginner vehicle is an exercise in damage control. It is a physical tool engineered specifically to forgive misjudgments while you learn where the bumpers end. If we set the budget under 5 lakhs, we find the baseline of Indian driving schools. Models like the Alto K10 exist to provide pure, mechanical mobility for the tightest margins. The advantages here are purely operational. The clutches are telepathically light. Real-world mileage easily hits 18 to 20 kilometers per liter, and the narrow width makes parking a non-event. Year 1 guarantees a few dents. Because these cars share identical, cheap parts stocked in every Tier 2 city, a scraped door doesn't cause financial panic. This reveals the entry-level trade-off, gaining mechanical reliability but sacrificing structural rigidity. Most vehicles score just 1 or 2 global NCAP stars. Base trims offer only 2 front airbags, leaving the sides and rear entirely exposed during collisions. If you need a cheap, efficient learning tool for low-speed city driving, this tier works. If structural safety is a non-negotiable requirement for your family, you have to stretch the budget further. Approaching 8 lakhs pushes you into the premium hatchback space. This is where the mathematical value finally tilts in favor of the new driver. Automakers are now building verified 5-star Bharat NCAP crash ratings into the standard framework of these cars. The higher price tag also buys physical breathing room. You gain enough cabin width to avoid rubbing shoulders on a long commute, alongside the baseline protection of 6 standard airbags. Models like the new Swift and Baleno prove you can pair a rigorous safety shell with refined engines that still deliver low fuel costs. The 8 lakh bracket is the definitive all-rounder. It solves the structural anxiety of the base tier without forcing a beginner into heavy auto loans. Many beginners walk into a dealership wanting the commanding stance and perceived invincibility of a large SUV. Taking a full subcompact SUV into a narrow street reveals the problem. The extra width and massive rear blind spots turn parallel parking from a simple maneuver into an insurance claim. The micro SUV emerged as a beginner-friendly loophole. They offer the rugged aesthetic of an SUV while keeping the exact, manageable footprint of a hatchback. This side profile comparison shows the mechanical advantage. A flat bonnet combined with a high seating position creates a direct line of sight, allowing a nervous driver to clearly see exactly where the front bumper ends. They also push the ground clearance above 180 millimeters. That height absorbs the shock when you inevitably misjudge a poorly marked speed breaker on a broken service road. You get the psychological confidence and road visibility of a larger vehicle, entirely skipping the parking penalty. Stretching the budget to 10 lakhs shifts the conversation. You stop negotiating for basic features and start paying to integrate the car smoothly into your daily lifestyle through an automatic transmission. If you live in a Tier 2 city with open roads, a manual gearbox remains perfectly fine and saves you over 50,000 rupees up front. But surviving daily Tier 1 city gridlock requires a different strategy. Removing the clutch pedal altogether is the single most effective way to eliminate left leg fatigue and preserve your sanity. An AMT gearbox delivers clutchless convenience while maintaining high fuel efficiency. Stepping up to a true CVT gives you an infinitely smooth, jerk-free crawl in heavy traffic. If your commute relies on bumper-to-bumper traffic, the upfront premium for an automatic transmission will pay absolute dividends in stress reduction. Even with the right budget, the actual purchasing process is heavily mined with logistical traps. The most common error is buying a car for its road presence, only to discover it physically cannot make the turn down your apartment's basement ramp. Then there is the false economy of the bare-bones base trim. Stripping out standard ABS or rear parking sensors to save a minor upfront cost makes the car actively harder to drive. This chart highlights the hidden financial shock. A 6 lakh X showroom price is just a starting line. Comprehensive insurance premiums for a new driver and mandatory RTO taxes quickly stack thousands of rupees onto the final cost. Overlooking the physical constraints of your driveway or the compounding costs of total ownership will turn an exciting purchase into an immediate daily burden. The perfect beginner car has very little to do with brand loyalty. It is a strict calculation matching the width of your daily route to the reality of your bank account. The goal is the feeling you get sliding into your parking spot at the end of a chaotic commute, knowing the machine quietly absorbed your mistakes and got you home intact. Your first car is not an ego trip.
It is a reliable, highly forgiving tool designed specifically to graduate you from a nervous learner into a confident driver.